Hey fuckers, this is a little bit late and it's something I did on my own little solo project. So you don't have a co-host this week, nor do you have an image of my face to mock. But I felt like it was worth it to spin through and give us a little mid-season report on the Gauntlet after week 7. I know we're almost through week 8, but it is what it is. I think you'll still enjoy this. So let's get into it. First and foremost, let's recap our winners of the week so far this season. GT, Brazilian Sensation, and myself have all taken home the bonus $60 for the highest points this season over the first 7 weeks. And both Tommy and young Mikey have both claimed this title twice. Congrats, guys. Looking good. On the inverse of this, let's look at the losers of the week. So Thanos, Snap, T-Shane, Dan, I'm watching you in Jersey Mike's have all had to pay up. Tommy's put a little bit of his winnings back for dogging it in week 2, but seems to have turned it around since then. But Brazilian Sensation, my God, everybody thought after the first week when he took the winner of the week, this was his league to lose, and since then he's just crashed and burned, having to cough up $10 twice so far. Fun facts on the season. 3 teams have pulled off a win while scoring their team's lowest points of the season. Myself, my lowest points for the season is a modest 140.68. And I did actually win despite scoring my lowest of the season. The same story can be said for Gin and Tonic, aka the GT Special, who also did the same against Crystal's Chiefs. And then the Hawaiian Kardashians pulled this off with the thinnest of margins over Uncle Dave. At the same time, 3 teams have lost while scoring their highest points of the season. Dan, I'm watching you. Lost a heartbreaker against Joe Shiesty. And then T-Shane got crushed by losing by less than 3 points to Uncle Dave. And then Uncle Dave himself was victim of this when he put up his high watermark of 131.78 when Joe Shiesty did the same thing he did to young Jordan by ripping their hearts out and then throwing them on the ground and taking a shit on them. Great job. Margins matter. So 4 contests this season have been decided by 1 point or less, which is psycho. JT Special, who's a pretty stout team, lost a heartbreaker by the thinnest margin of the year, 0.28 points to Brazilian Sensation. Thanos Snap lost by 0.88 points to my commissioner extraordinaire, Dan Kalai'aia. And then Brontosaurus lost by 1 point to T-Shane. You see I have an asterisk there. That poor T-Shane, man. Even that one fucking win you've had on the season was by the thinnest of margins. So just an incredibly heartbreaking season. And then Jordan also lost by 1 point to Brontosaurus. Beg for mercy. So we've seen a lot of colossal beatdowns this season for everyone not named Shane. The biggest margin of victory was like a decimation by Brontosaurus of the Brazilian Sensation, 115.6 point margin. Honorable mention goes to me with a 84.2 margin of victory over T-Shane. This was really a mismatch. Someone of my team's caliber should never have played a team that's in such disarray as T-Shane. But, you know, I don't make the schedule. And then I will say double trouble on here is that Thanos, Snap, he got beat by 58-point margins twice by 2 different people. Both Gage and Carlos have whooped up on Uncle Dave. finally, a little slice of what our average points per week are and how that translates to current place. So, I mean, no real surprises here. Everybody knows that like the top 4 teams that we keep talking about all season are myself, Joe Shiesty, GT Special, and young Tommy, who was kind of mocked early on with his draft performance, and then had a pretty terrible early week in points, but has really turned it on and become quite a dark horse to kind of play spoiler maybe in the playoffs if he continues on the strength of his team management. But what I really want to highlight is how you got some guys in this list here where, Brazilian sensation is holding on for dear life at the 7th seed in our rankings here. But with this average points per week, it's been dropping week after week after week, and he's not that far off from the cellar dweller pair of T-Shane and Jersey Mike's there. So 112, 102, 117 and fading is probably not great. On the flip side, Jordan is having a tough season compared to all the rest of the teams. If you look, he's actually in the top half of the teams in terms of weekly output, but his win-loss record is just, he faces people that are just having a good week, a better week than he is, even though he's having pretty strong weeks. And then the opposite is true for Hawaiian Kardashians, who, are in the bottom half of the league in terms of weekly production, but are winning the games they need to win, and as a result are holding on to that 6th spot. So I think that's pretty interesting. We'll see. Anyway, good luck for the back half of the season.